G'day, V-Dubbed here, and how you doing? Today's video is about working on the Baja and actually installing the Baja kit. So the first step in the Baja build was to get the vehicle mobile. So this is the engine that we took out of the Roadster when we put the turbo motor in it, and it's a standard 1600 engine, twin port, but it's pretty stock. So first thing I wanted to do was to clean it up a bit, just because of Baja's engine's on show. So I bought a chrome tin kit. So here you can see the chrome tins have been put over the cylinders. You can see I've also got a chrome fuel pump. I've also got a serpentine belt, which is just something different. So you can see the idler pulley there just above the main pulley. And just for a bit of performance, I've got twin 40 IDA carbs. They're actually EMPI HP MXs, not Webers, but they're really Weber clones. That's just another shot showing the chrome bits I've put on, even the generator stand with the oil fillers chromed, and you can see the carbs that are going to go on. You can also see the crank pulley at the bottom has also been changed for a marked or vernier pulley, they sometimes call them. It's just got the degrees put on, marked on the pulley. I don't know if you can also spot the coil. There's also got a chrome covering on the coil, and it's come down off the fan shroud and it's put in behind the fuel pump. So this next shot is with the fan shroud on. I'm still using the old generator, and it's just got a chrome cover that goes over it to make it look better. That's the serpentine belt on loosely. It goes over the idler pulley to tension it up. You can also see I've added electronic ignition to the distributor, which is the red and black wire hanging down from the distributor. Just a shot from the top looking down. Just can see the whole thing's a whole lot neater. The reason I've taken the carbs off is it's just easier to get the fan shroud on and all lined up without the intakes and the carbs on. So now that we had the vehicle moving on its own steam, it was just easier to move it around. It was time to start the transformation. So the first step is to take off the old bumper, original bumper, and the rear lights. So in that last shot, we removed the lights, but we actually didn't need to, because after that we've removed the fenders, the two rear fenders, and you can see we could have left the lights on. That's where the lights were. And to remove them is fairly easy. It's just a matter of undoing 13mm bolts that are all up underneath. You can see that one as well. We had to take the bumper off first because the bumper brackets actually slot through the fender. You can see that slot over there. But we could have left the lights on because they would have come off as one piece. Just disconnect the wiring. And then the next piece to come off was the engine lid cover. and again it was just 13mm bolt over there, and another one on that side, another one on that side. So here's a shot of the rear of the Baja kit. It's made up of 7 fiberglass pieces, 4 in the front and 3 at the back. So the 2 at the top are the new fenders to go over the wheels, and this piece at the closest to you is a air scoop that goes across the top of where the motor is. The idea is just to finish off where you've taken off the engine lid, but it also is a place where you can put an oil cooler, because the air coming down the back of the car over the roof down the back window is forced down through that area. So you then offer up those fiberglass fenders to the original car body, and you line up the bottom of the fender with the bottom of the floor of the original car, and then you just mark on the fiberglass where the holes for the fenders are, and then you drill those fenders, and using the original bolts you just loosely bolt that fender up to the original body and see how it looks. You can make the hole slightly bigger than the bolts, which gives you a little bit of wiggle room to move them around till you get a really nice fit. You then end up with something like this, which is the fenders bolted on to the vehicle's body, and you'll see the marks I've made there, which shows where we're going to start our cutting of the original steel body. You'll also notice that the generator has been taken out of the motor. That's because the serpentine belt put too much pressure on the bearings and the generator actually packed up. So I've ordered a alternator. So we're going to change the car from the old generator to an alternator. So what you need to cut is from the side of the vehicle where you've marked it. You actually cut it down towards the firewall, and then you need to cut across the back to the opening. But effectively, as it comes around there, you need to cut across on this horizontal section, and then up from that corner to the marks you've put on the body. So here you can see the cut. It's just the bell housing. See the starter motor just popping up. That's that same rubber seal. So you cut horizontally across and then up until you get to where the fender ties in to the body, and that's the cut you need to be making. So this is the piece that you end up with once it's been cut out of the vehicle, and this is just going to get thrown away. We're not going to reuse this, and that's what it looks like. So I've taken the fenders back off. Often this is when you start panicking and say, what have I done to my car? Just from a lower angle. This next shot is of the fenders back on, and I've placed the air scoop on, and there's quite a bit of fitting because the air scoop is made to fit a standard Beetle shape below the rear windscreen. With the Roadster kit it's slightly different. So in this next photo you can see how I've had to shape the fiberglass of the hoop to fit onto the Roadster body, so that's why you see it curves like it does. You then pop rivet that onto the back of the vehicle, and I like to just smooth it over with putty just so that it becomes a nice smooth transition. So there we have the air scoop on the back with the 2 rear fenders. I've also marked up lights. I've gone for a different set of lights, just I like to customize my vehicles rather than stock. So here's a close-up of just marking out the light, making the hole and getting ready to drill, and that's the light fitted. It's a classic teardrop from Classic Hot Rods. I know they're supposed to go the other way on normal hot rods, but to me, if you have a look at a drop of water, it actually drops in this direction, so that's why I put them on this way around. So that next shot is just another one showing the fender with the light and how it interacts with the air scoop. I then took the fenders off and I found a bit of rust which I needed to patch, so I welded that up, and then I started to put putty over the rivets so that I could putty up the air scoop onto the back of the roadster body. That finishes off the rear assembly of the Baja kit, and just moving on to the front. These are the 4 fiberglass items for the front of the Baja, but there's some changes I want to make, and I'll cover that in the next episode. Alright, thanks for watching. Take care and God bless. Thanks again for watching, and be sure to like, share, subscribe, and leave me any comments.